Stay tuned because today on Cooking with Tammy, we are going to be making a delicious Cajun beans and rice recipe. And I can guarantee you this is going to be the ultimate Cajun beans and rice recipe. And by the way, if you haven't purchased your seasonings as yet, what are you waiting for? Head on over to cookingwithtammy.shop, grab up your Creole, your seafood, and your Cajun seasoning. Because guess what? Your girl is going to be rocking out with these seasonings for the next couple of recipes. And also, if you grab these seasonings up, guess what's going to happen? It's going to elevate and step your chef game up even more. It's going to take it to the next level. So it's a win-win. In the meanwhile, let's head on over to the kitchen and let's get to cooking. For this recipe, I'm going to be using smoked turkey. Nevertheless, traditional Cajun beans and rice is made with smoked pork. However, not all of us prefer or even eat pork. So I figured let's play around with it just a bit. Let's, put the option out there. So yes, we're going to be using smoked turkey, but of course, use whatever you prefer as long as we get that nice smoky element that we all enjoy at the end. That's all that matters. We're also going to need our diced bell peppers, celery, and onions, along with our andouille sausages. Now here's the thing, if this is going to be a pork-free recipe, feel free to substitute with chicken andouille sausages. They work perfectly fine. It still has that nice little Cajun spicy kick going on. And we're also going to need some seasonings. So I'm going to be rocking out with, of course, your girls Cooking with Tammy Cajun and Creole Seasoning. As I mentioned before in my intro, these seasonings have everything that you need to complement every dish. So we're not going to be using a ton of seasonings, just Cajun and Creole, along with our beans that has been pre-washed and soaking overnight, so they're nice and plumped and ready to go. When it comes time to washing those beans, of course, remove any beans that don't look, they don't look fly, basically. Take them on out and you'll be good to go. We also have some freshly chopped parsley, along with our finely chopped garlic, a couple bay leaves, some chicken broth, butter, and guess what? That's all we're going to be using. So without further ado, let's get to cooking. First thing we're going to do is we are going to slice up our andouille sausages. Now cut them in perfect circles, cube them on up, or even slice them diagonally. Doesn't matter. Whatever you prefer is what we're going to do. Once we're done, we're going to add some oil to our skillet. Add those sausages. This part right here should take about 3 to 4 minutes. Get in there with our spatula, spread them on out, make sure it's laying flat against the surface. Brown them on up. Once we're done, we're going to get in there with a slotted spoon and we're going to remove our sausages, set them in a bowl and place them to the side. In the meanwhile, I know you see all of the brown bits that's going on in the pan. No worries, because this is what we're going to need to give our Cajun beans and rice some extra added flavor. Now that we're done, we're going to add our mirepoix, which is simply our bell peppers, celery, and diced onions. Get those bad boys in the pot. Stir it on up, combine it really well. We're going to cook our veggies until they're slightly softened, not mushy. Don't let me come to your house and get you, all right? Once we're done, we're going to cover it on down with the lid. Allow these veggies to break on down just a bit. This part right here should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Check on it periodically. If not, cover it on down for an additional minute. Sometimes it takes about 4 minutes. I mean, everybody's stove is a little different. However, nevertheless, once our veggies break down and they're slightly softened, we're going to introduce our finely chopped garlic. Now, the reason why I didn't add the finely chopped garlic along with the celery, onions, and bell peppers is simply because garlic tends to burn really easily. So I wanted everything to have its time to do what it has to do before adding that garlic. However, now that the garlic and the parsley is introduced, we're going to mix it on up, combine it really well, allow the garlic to extract all of its delicious flavors. Cover it on down once again for about 30 seconds at this point. Remove the lid again, stir it on up, and we are in business. Nothing is overcooked, perfectly broken down, and nice and fragrant. We're going to add our sausages back to the pan, stir it on up, fold those sausages into the veggies. Once we're done, we're going to add our beans. The great thing about soaking the beans overnight is not only are they going to plump on up, but it's going to definitely expedite the cooking process. Now that our beans are perfectly combined, we are going to add our smoked meat. And by smoked meat, add whichever smoked meat you prefer, along with our butter. We're also going to add our chicken broth. Make sure the turkey is perfectly covered and submerged in the liquid, based on the fact that my Cajun seasoning does not contain any salt. And my Creole seasoning contains a small amount of sodium, which is considered low sodium. I am going to add salted butter just to give it a little extra added flavor. However, if you're using regular, Cajun or Creole seasoning that does contain salt, I would rock out with the unsalted butter. Get in there, give it a little stir, a little mix-a-roo, so to speak. We're also going to add our bay leaves. Once we're done, we're going to cover it on down with the lid and simply allow it to do its thing. This part right here should take some time because we want our beans to break on down and for our sauce to thicken up as well. So this part right here should take about 2 to 3 hours. However, we are going to check periodically to make sure everything is going perfect. After about 2.5 to 3 hours, somebody called the press. Check it on out. Check it on out. Looks absolutely delicious. I didn't have to go in there, mash the beans on down, none of that stuff. Everything has broken down perfectly. So at this point, we're going to remove our smoked meat from the pot and we are going to literally extract the meat from the bone. We're just going to get in there, use a fork, use our hands, doesn't matter. We're going to get all of the meat off the bones. And as you can tell, the meat is cooked perfectly. It is absolutely soft and tender. OMG. And of course, you know who I am by now, guys. I am going to take a couple pieces. I'm going to try this meat one out, taste it just a little bit. There's so many flavors going on in this smoked meat right now. It is so delicious. I'm going to add the meat back to the pot and combine it with the beans. Stir it on up. During the last 20 minutes, I went ahead and made some white rice. Of course, I got you. I'm going to link how to make the perfect white rice in the description bar as well. And with all of that being said, it is time to serve this delicious recipe on up. Go ahead, grab your favorite bowl, add some of those delicious beans to your bowl. OMG, this looks absolutely delightful. Gonna hit it off with just a small sprinkle of parsley. And we're gonna get in there with our rice. Just like that. And guys, dinner is served. OMG, absolutely gorgeous. Quick and easy to put together using basic ingredients, of course. As I mentioned before, don't forget to cop these seasonings right here. It makes all the difference, all right? As I mentioned to you, all of the flavors are locked into these seasonings right here. Definitely cookingwithtammy.shop. And I got you, basically. Check it on out. Just like that. And with all of that being said, we are done. It is time to dig on in. Our beautiful Cajun style red beans is done. We went ahead and served it on up with some white rice. Of course, if you want to pair it with brown rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, or even mashed potatoes, whatever your heart desires basically, or even enjoy it by itself, this is definitely that meal to do so. And as always, I will catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.